Hey, this is Donald Jenkins, president of the Purpose Development Institute. Welcome to a very powerful message that I want to speak directly to you. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is a subject titled "The Selfie You Cannot Delete." Now, this subject came up after I had a conversation with my wife. She called me on the phone. She's a teacher, Lily Jenkins, at Ridgeview Charter School, and she was talking about a conversation that she had with the students in regards to their test scores, in regards to what the district had sent back and had identified, low test scores among a specific race, specifically African American, Latino, Hispanic. And I just want to make sure that I bring this out right out of the gates, that this message is not just specifically for that group. This message is for all students. So I need you to pay close attention to what I'm getting ready to say today, because it's going to be so critical that your future is dependent upon what I'm getting ready to tell you right now. So again, let's talk about the selfie that you cannot delete. Now, what if you took as much pride in your test scores and your attitude as you take in the selfie that you take on a regular basis and you send to your friend? Now, I know that you do it on a regular basis because, hey, listen, I take some selfies too. And I want to get the best one, the best one to put either out on social media, send to my friend. We always try to capture the best side of who we are. But what you don't understand is that there is one selfie that you cannot delete. And this selfie is going to follow you for the rest of your life. I don't care how much you try to, you want to get rid of it. You can get rid of it, but you're going to have to make some changes. You're going to have to take some pride in some other areas of your life in order to get rid of this selfie that's following you all the days of your life. It's going to follow you when you get out of high school. It's going to follow you in college. It's going to follow you on your job. It's going to follow you in your family. It's going to follow you everywhere. So let's talk about this selfie that you cannot delete. Now, at my company, we specialize in what we call purpose deficit disorders. This is the 8 most exploited areas on your body. In other words, you have 8 body parts that's exploited on a regular basis. Now, if you're not aware of these 8 body parts and the purpose of these body parts, then guess what? You're going to yield them to things that's going to lead you away from where you want to go in life. That's why we call them purpose deficit disorders. But if you are aware of these areas connecting you to a higher purpose, then you can do some great things. You can get rid of that selfie that you don't want to have and you don't want to show anybody. But otherwise, you're going to create that selfie that you cannot delete. So let's name the 8 body parts from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, because that's what we do when we take a selfie. We put the cell phone out and we smile and we take that picture of ourselves. Well, let me give you another snapshot. And the snapshot is, you have a crown on your head. And that's the reason why your teachers are there. They're there because they want to treat you like royalty. But you got to understand how to act like royalty. All right? There's an invisible crown on your head that distinguishes you to be in a higher class than, in many cases, than the way that you act. Let me just say it like this. That crown represents that you're in a higher class than the animal kingdom. All right? In other words, you're not an animal. You are a human being with an intelligent purpose, all right? An intelligent purpose that will allow you to take charge of where you want to go in your life. So you have the crown on your head. That's one part. Now, if you don't realize that crown is there, it's going to be exploited on a regular basis, and you're not going to act like that king or that queen that you can act like. In other words, you're going to allow other things to have dominion over who you are as an individual. Next, we have your eyes. Your eyes represent the things that you look at. Now, many of you all are exposing yourself to things that's not going to lead you to where you want to go in life. So guess what it's going to do? It's going to create that selfie that you cannot delete. Because here's the thing that you got to understand. You can't delete bad test scores. You can't delete a low performance when it comes to your education. You can't delete a bad attitude. There's other things that you got to change. You have to change what you look at. All right. Change what you see. Allow good things to go into your eyes on a regular basis. Guard those things that go into your eyes. All right. Then you have your ears. You have your ear gates. And if you're not aware that it's connected to a higher purpose and listening to the right thing that's going to take you where you want to go in life, you're going to create that selfie that you cannot delete. What about your nose? Your nose is a reminder that your attitude has a smell. Some of y'all come into the room everywhere that you go and your attitude just stink up the room. That's what your nose remind you of. And that's creating that selfie that you cannot delete. And your mouth. What about your mouth? You allow things to come out of your mouth that's creating that selfie that you cannot delete. And then you have your hands. All right. What about your hands? You don't control what go into your eyes. You don't control what go into your ears. You don't control the attitude that you have. You don't control what comes out of your mouth. So it puts you in a position where when you go out and you graduate from school, the only thing that you have left is to do a job that requires manual labor because you refuse to read. You refuse to listen to things that was going to take you in the direction that you wanted to go into. You refuse to change your attitude. You refuse to say things that was going to lead you to what you want to become in life. You created that selfie that you cannot delete. It's going to follow you all the days of your life, regardless of whether you want it to or not. That's why I wanted to get this message to you. That's why Miss Jenkins wanted me to get on here and to speak this message, not just to you, but to all students. So I want to make sure that you understand that regardless of whether you acknowledge it or not, you're dealing with this selfie that you cannot delete. Now, I've just talked about the 5 body parts, the 6 body parts that's above your waist. You have a choice in life. You can either live above the waist or below the waist. Now, below the waist is your sexual organ and your feet. Your sexual organ, you understand what that represents. That can cause you to create a selfie that you don't want, that you cannot delete. It's going to follow you all the days of your life because you're making decisions based upon that part of your life. And then you have your feet that represent the path that you're on. So you got to ask yourself every day, what path do I want to follow? Do I want to get rid of all these labels that people are putting on me? Do I want to continue to fit within the label of low performing test scores, bad attitudes, and people's expectations just because of the color of your skin? Or do you want to begin to shed those labels? And I'm telling you, if you want to shed those labels, you have to take charge of these areas of your life that's being exploited on a regular basis. It's up to you. It's up to you to be able to do that. You can make a decision right now and say, you know what, from this day forward, I will not produce the selfie that I don't want to delete. I'm going to produce the selfie that I want the world to see. That selfie that the world want to see is going to have an attitude that's going to be the attitude of a champion. It's going to have an attitude that's going to be an attitude of someone that want to perform at their peak levels in everything that they do in life. So I hope that you got something out of that. But the main thing is, don't create that selfie that you cannot delete. Make sure that you're taking charge of those areas and that you're not falling into what I call purpose deficit disorders. All of those areas have a purpose, and it's up to you to connect each one to the purpose so that you can become the person that you were designed to be. God bless you. Donald Jenkins again. Hey, listen, maybe I can put another one of these together for you and cause you to soar to new heights. I look forward to doing that.